I live in Georgia, as I mentioned, in a little place called Smoke Rise, Georgia, which is just as bucolic as it sounds. And a few years ago, my wife and I, who love to go up to the North Georgia mountains, found this little place up there, little log cabin, kind of run down, and we decided to fix it up. As I mentioned, she's the writer, so we wanted to have a little getaway to go and write. And the nearest church to our cabin is, well, first of all, our cabin, if you live in a place called Smoke Rise, your mountain getaway better be in a place that sounds at least as bucolic as that. And so our cabin, luckily, is in a place called Cherry Log, Georgia. And the nearest church to our cabin is the Cherry Log Christian Church. And the pastor of the Cherry Log Christian Church, until his death about 2.5 years ago, was one of the most famous homilists in the Protestant world, a fellow by the name of the Reverend Fred Craddock. And Fred was a wonderful storyteller, a lovely man, and imagine he and I got to be pals. And every year I do a little benefit concert for a summer reading program that the church does with kids in the community. And at the last one that he attended, he came backstage during intermission and he sat down next to me and put his arm around my shoulder and he said, "John, I can tell you are the product of Catholic education." Which I chose to take as a compliment. And believe me, there's plenty of places in North Georgia where it would not be. But it's true, I spent many long years at Our Lady of Perpetual Guilt elementary school, where Sister Marie Cassad was our principal. Now, those of y'all who know anything at all about Catholics know that in general, Catholics do not know the Bible very well. Now, there's a guy who gives a book report once a week, and that's about it. But at Our Lady of Perpetual Guilt, we were going to learn the Bible, by God. And so every year they divided it all up. And when I was in the 4th grade, 9 years old, my 4th grade teacher, Mrs. Wachtel, decided we were going to spend all that year studying the life of Jesus, which I thought was perfect. Because at age 9, I was obsessed with the 9-year-old Jesus, who appears nowhere in Scripture, right? He's born, and then the next thing you know about him, he's 12, and his parents have lost him. And I remember rereading that story when I was the father of a 12-year-old boy, and decided it was not an accident that they lost him. And then he disappears for another 18 years, and he shows up again. He's 30 years old, which, if you think of it in historical terms, was not a young man back in the year 30. And they didn't even know it was the year 30. But I remember Fred asked me, he said, when you were 9, I told him this story, and he said, "John, when you were 9 years old, what were you like?" I said, "Well, Fred, I'll be honest with you, I was a hyperactive, bookish, socially awkward loser." And he smiled and he said, "Perfect. Me and Jesus would have been buddies if we'd met back in school. Look at who he ran with. They were not remotely cool. Tax collectors, fishermen, it's mighty plain to see. He gravitated to the folks who seemed a lot like me. Jesus would have been my wingman if we'd grown up the same time. I mean, who wouldn't want a pal who could turn water into wine? And the money changers at the temple will swear that it's a fact. He could be a badass if provoked to act. And Jesus, he liked losers. He hung with bums and whores. Never made him nervous when surrounded by the poor. And you know, I think he would have liked my neighborhood. And though he'd never cuss or fight, still I think that he'd have fit right in. Yeah, Jesus was alright. And I'm thinking about religion as it survives today. Truly makes me wonder, what would Jesus say to see the money changers back in charge again? Feels like he's gone AWOL, still I spot him now and then. I think I saw him at the shelter, in the kitchen serving soup. He was chanting at a peace march. He was singing for the troops, volunteering at the prison, making out it's no big deal, praying with his feet, making God's love real. And at the end of our working day, we might go out for a beer. And if I whine about my troubles, you know he'd always lend an ear. Then we'd raise a glass for all the sorry losers we have known. Count our many blessings, make our way back home. Yeah, me and Jesus would have been buddies if we'd met back